Margo. So, oh my God, I thought my phone alarm was on, but it was the music from here. Sorry, my edibles are kicking in.
Happens to me all the time.
So your album is about substance abuse. It's about self-image. It's about abortion rights. And you wrote it on mushrooms. Was that a revelation in songwriting? Tell me, spill.
It was. I really wanted to shake things up. You know, I kind of got my start with this old school country album. It was called Midwest Farmer's Daughter, and Jack White put it out. And things kind of finally turned around for me. But yeah, with this album, I just wanted to be able to go out there and not be pigeonholed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the psilocybin opened your brain up? Did what? I'm like so into this.
Yeah, it's been pretty transformative for me. The first time I had a psychedelic trip, I was 20 years old, and I dropped out of college and moved to Nashville. Highly suggested for anybody who doesn't want to get into student loan debt. But then the next time I took it, I wrote this album, and then the third time that I took it, I decided to quit drinking alcohol, which had really been a challenge for me. And it was kind of after I started reading about Bill Wilson and the work he did with AA. And he initially had a psychedelic experience on a plant called belladonna. And they were actually, at the very beginning moments of AA, they were giving people acid, and it was curing their alcoholism. So I don't know if you're feeling stuck with anything.
I will say, in my early 20s, ecstasy changed my life.
Yeah, MDMA is absolutely incredible for compassion as well.
You know, you're honest and you walk the walk. You've been really vocal about gun control, which is, I think, the #1 killer of children in this country. And boy, you even took a detour on the road to vote in Nashville for the mayor.
That's right. I was out on tour, and it was just a really important election for Nashville. And so I took off at 10 o'clock at night, got to Nashville at 3 in the morning, woke up at 9, voted, and then drove back and played a show in Illinois.
What is it like being a liberal in a kind of a country world?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't get invited to all the parties, but that's okay. Their parties suck. And yeah, I think it's been, I like pushing boundaries. I like pushing my limits. I think that if we can have conversations, we live in such polarizing times, and really, if we could all realize that we're more alike than we think, and just begin to talk about these things. I want to destigmatize psychedelics. And just thoughts on gun control, I think that the only way to do that is by talking about it.
Yeah, I agree. We're not different. I mean, I've almost never disliked someone I've actually met face to face.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
You have a song called "Light Me Up." Why don't you explain to the audience what it's about, Margo?
Okay, I will. This song was one that we wrote the day after we took a God's dose of mushrooms, and you know, I was just listening to a lot of songs in the country music world and even in the Americana world, and I just wasn't hearing a lot of songs about the female orgasm. And I thought we needed to change that. So it's yeah, it's just a liberating song about sex and women's pleasure. Yeah. I mean, we live in such a time, and I live in a place where, you know, abortion rights and women's bodies are just, they're not our own. And I'm here to show up and fight for what's ours.
I love it. Now, you wrote this book, Maybe We'll Make It, and what was your approach to writing a book? Were there any similarities to how you approach songwriting? Was it a completely different, daunting task?
It was daunting, and I know you know as well. Laying it all out there. I started writing it when I found myself pregnant with my daughter Ramona, and I was just at home, and I couldn't tour. And through the process, it was also kind of when I decided to give up drinking because I was reading everything from this different place. I was able to give myself a little bit more compassion as I was reading things back. But it was scary to put it all out there. You know, it's everybody I've slept with, all the drugs I've ever done. So sorry, Grandma.
So it's interesting because, you know, having written a book, you know, a memoir, you kind of have to really be a detective in your own life, and then you realize that's really good just for everybody to do. You know, because you learned so much from it. And I think your editor read it and said, gee, it feels like whiskey is the main character of this book.
Yeah, definitely. She said that was like my co-star. And it's true. I mean, I used to drink harder than anybody, and that was just kind of the way that I lived. And it was like a badge of honor. And it was kind of going through that whole time. It's been almost 3 years now, and it's just been completely transformative to give it up and just have all this extra energy. Thank you. I mean, I still do drugs. I still do drugs. Yeah.
Drugs.
I still smoke weed. I still smoke weed.
Like, I've always been a weed person, you know, like more mind expanding, but I cannot be around drunk people.
Yeah, they're annoying. It turns out they're super annoying.
I find it insufferable. Hold on, oh wow, you're performing your song Lydia tonight, which I'm so excited about, and it's about abortion, and you wrote it before Roe was overturned. So what inspired that?
I was walking around in this town in Canada there was just like a lot of methadone clinics, a lot of people that were really struggling, and so I initially wrote it then, and I was kind of scared of the song. I played it for a couple of my friends, and one of them said, man, that song just really sucks the air out of the room, and it doesn't rhyme, and it's like 6 minutes, so I knew that this was the perfect place to come do a song about a hooker contemplating an abortion.
Strays and Strays 2 are available now.